Peace, light, and love. Today is November 14th, and this is the ceasefire. This is the building where a man had been killed. He's a Palestinian man, and I listened to his brother tell a story. It sounds really tragic. He lived in the States, and he came back to Israel to work in building, and then so there were like 460 rockets, and the one person killed is a Palestinian who, is actually no different than the people in Gaza with ethnic origin, so it's quite tragic. So there's a ceasefire, and here there's Gaza, the building. And I heard the IDF spokesman said that Israeli army targets buildings and Hamas and not civilians. I don't know. And there's a caricature, you see the ones in Gaza, and it says, "What's new from the cabinet meeting?" Actually, the editorial talks about how there's not enough bomb shelters, and I was also thinking that. And yesterday I had my own little war. I walked the dogs, and I think I broke my finger. I can't move my finger today. The dog pulled the leash very strongly. I'm on my way to have it x-rayed, perhaps. And then all of a sudden I heard really loud banging at the door, like bang, 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 and screaming. Apparently the dog were barking because I was feeding them a late time meal, and they get very excited and they bark. But how long do the dogs bark? Until they eat. So it's about, between the dog food and the dog dish, it's about 1 minute, and they immediately reacted. And I think when we talk about overreacting, maybe we should consider the physics law. For every reaction, there's a counter reaction. So you can't expect, when you bang on somebody's door really loudly and scream, for peace to occur. So what happened is, and I was really hurting, I was crying, and I was really in big pain because my finger just, I felt my finger move, and I felt something snap in my hand. I was in great pain and crying, and I yelled at the dogs to stop, and then they were just banging very loudly and screaming at me. So I called the police, and they came. And then they said, "Oh, the neighbor's wife is pregnant. The dog barking bothers her." And then I thought, it's not that the dogs are barking the whole day. It's just around their feeding time, which is exactly twice a day, and it's exactly 1 to 2 minutes. But their reaction, banging on the door very loudly, which happens when I have to go to work very early in the morning, it really disturbs me. It scares me. It just scares me. All of a sudden you hear very loud banging on the door. It scares you, you know? Anybody would be scared a bit. And they scream also. And I said to the police officers, if when she's pregnant, a barking dog disturbs her, what is she going to do when the baby's crying in the middle of the night? Now it's the easy stage. And I told them that this neighbor, she has 2 dogs. She keeps them locked in the balcony. And when she walks the dog, she never says hello. She's always on the phone, and the dogs are free. And the law says you have to put your dogs on the leash. That's how I injured my hand. It all connects to the fact that people are, I'm trying to think of the word in English, they're barricaded behind their little world. And unfortunately, many people make bonds, especially marriages, and it's me and you against the world, where it should be we are part of the world. Be nice to an elderly neighbor who's living alone. Be nice to people that you don't know what pain and suffering they might undergo. And I could definitely see that a pregnant woman might be upset, but I think a reaction of banging on the door very, very loudly and screaming at like 11 o'clock at night for a dog that was barking 1 minute is an overreaction, and it doesn't bring peace. It scares me, and it makes me not want to talk to them, and breaks down communication. And then I had the Shannon Watts YouTube videos at the same time, his family is slandering her and blaming her. Again, people are barricaded behind their egocentric positions and they don't want to see the other person. And isn't it time we try to understand the other one? So I tried very much today the dogs would be quiet, and I hope everybody